So there we are, folks. That's the little balls of beef. Excuse me. Well, let's say that again. These are the little meatballs. Well, welcome folks to another Hergé's Adventures of Whitebeard's Kitchen. So what I'm going to do today is Italian meatballs in a tomato and mushroom sauce. So let's get cracking with the cooking. Hopefully we might have this evening, maybe keep it for tomorrow. Who the hell knows in this house? Here we are, folks, roughly about 600 grams of minced beef. What I'm going to add is roughly a teaspoon and a half of just chopped garlic, and then, excuse my little short arms having to stretch, we'll call that roughly about 4 heaped teaspoons, maybe 5 heaped teaspoons of finely diced shallot. I can honestly say those shallots, I had to literally chop them blind, so to speak, and then I had to close my eyes, they were that strong. I'm just going to add in now a heaped teaspoon of mixed herbs, and there will be mixed herbs going into the sauce. Heaped teaspoon of dry basil. Going to eyeball this, and this is a guess. Probably about a teaspoon and a half of salt. Teaspoon, 3/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. In with 1 egg. And I've never mentioned this, but I do have an aversion to eggs. I cannot eat boiled, scrambled, fried, or anything else. Don't mind them going into a mix like this, that's fine, that's fair enough. And I'm using panko breadcrumbs. They just give that wee bit of, I think, a bit more body to anything. Panko breadcrumbs, if you know what these are, they're kind of just crunchy, crispy breadcrumbs used in the likes of the Korean type cooking, but quite popular in anything, and dead easy to make. Please don't buy these things, just make breadcrumbs, ordinary breadcrumbs, put them into an oven, lay them out on, like, say, an oven tray, and at about 180 degrees, and turn them every so often for about maybe 15 minutes or so, until you see that they're turning like golden colour, or they're getting crispy, or the breadcrumbs are getting crispy like these, or crunchy, and that's it. Don't buy them, good God, no, don't. You may as well just throw your money down the drain. So if you can make ordinary breadcrumbs, you can make these. Shops charge you a lot more. So I'm going to say that was maybe about 3.5 good handfuls, nothing like this. Now to dig the old hands in, have I forgotten anything? I don't think so. So just to give this a bit of a mix round, bring it all together with the egg, the breadcrumbs, and then once you get that, maybe add a tiny more breadcrumbs. I mean, just add what you think will bring it together. So it's maybe about, I'm trying to work this out in tablespoons, probably about 10 for this amount. It's still quite wet. I was going to say moist, but I won't use that word. There's a certain person about here today called Amy, and she doesn't like the word moist. A lot of people don't like that word, but so it's still wet. Wet. She doesn't hear me. She's sitting down in the conservatory doing her interior design course, and she's sitting with her mother, my better half, who is writing a novel, as well as her soap business and candle business. Amy'sEarth.com. My darling wife also is a ghostwriter, so as you can see, a very talented bunny. Unlike me, well, I suppose I'm talented in terms of, this is all home cooking, by the way. Please have a laugh, you know, it's not to be taken too serious. It's about trying to make things that appeal to people. So I'm just adding a wee tiny bit more breadcrumbs. So this is probably about maybe, I would say 12 tablespoons. Very hard to judge. I would say each one of those that I had in the hand was roughly about a tablespoon, heaped tablespoon, by the way. In with another. Hopefully this will be the last. I'm probably going to call these are like bread balls rather than meatballs. When I roll these out, I will put them onto a board and let them cool, or go cold a bit in the fridge, firm them up a bit. That's come together nicely now. So next process, we'll be rolling these out. So what I'm going to use here, I don't want them too small. We like them big in this house. A 1/4 cup. Okay. Just get them out. Get them in the palm of my hands. You know, give them a wee bit of a roll. have them all done. So that's what they roughly look like. There's 13 of them. Typical as usual, always end up with a bloody uneven number. So we'll all fight, probably over the last one. Me being the chef, I'll claim it. So there we are, and there's 4 of us. So yeah, so we'll all have 3 each. So that's that. That'll be plenty. They're a reasonable size. Now to pop these into the fridge and let them cool till they're ready to cook. Before we start the sauce, thought I'd show you, goodness gracious, we can see the mountain. As you can see, this is my back garden with the fence posts or whatever. And there's usually sheep running about there. They've all disappeared, obviously brought in case maybe the farmer's fighting me doing a bit of sheep rustling. But yesterday the mountains were absolutely covered in mist. It was pouring out of the heavens here. Today it's lovely and bright. As you can see, some clouds, lovely white, fluffy clouds like cotton wool. So now on to make the sauce. Okay folks, so have my pot on, heating up, in with 3 tablespoons of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, whatever you want, maybe third stage forward. Just let that heat. Get my little spoon, or I should say my big chefy spoon that my better half bought me. In with banana shallots. This is what I'm using. Could have used red onion, could have used white onion. And I mean white onion, brown onion, in some places as in the skin's brown. That's roughly about 2 medium-sized banana shallots going in. I'm going to turn this down to kind of a medium to high heat. There we are, the old licking the fingers again. So I just want these to get a little bit on the, not cooked too much because they will cook in as part of the sauce. Okay, blast it up maybe towards a slight bit higher, so it's on the higher side of medium to high, if that makes sense. You only want to cook them for a minute or 2. Okay, that's doing nicely. In with garlic. Try and scoop it all up. Well, don't scrape this board. Just want to cook the rawness of the garlic. Just for about a minute. So, in next, these are chestnut mushrooms. Use any sort of mushroom you wish. So 225 grams of those, and I finely chop them. Stir that about, bring it now up to roughly about a medium. Cook these through for a few minutes. What we can do is add a little bit more moisture. And I had a mixture of baby plum tomatoes and a few large tomatoes. I say rarities here, you know, you're paying a fortune for them. So 225 grams of chopped tomato in. I can nearly talk. So we'll let this cook for probably about 5 minutes. So here we are. Things cooking nicely. 400 grams of chopped tomatoes going in. I'm going to be honest, on budgets and things like that nowadays, I just use ordinary supermarket, own brand tomatoes. Yeah, I know there's lovely Italian tomatoes that you can buy in tin. Those good old ones you see me were like 40 pence. So that's those. I'm going to turn this up ever so slightly. Just in with, okay, a bit of a grind of black pepper, probably about 3/4 of a teaspoon. Now on to the old salt. So here we are, about maybe a teaspoon and a half of salt. I can adjust this and, you know, do check this and adjust it accordingly. This is slightly bigger. I'm going to say I don't know what blazes sort of a spoon this is, but I'm going to kind of eyeball this. So I'm going to use roughly about, I'm going to say that's 2 heaped teaspoons. And we've got 3 of basil. I do like my herbs and I might add more in, but again, you adjust this to suit yourself. Mixed herbs already has basil in it, a little bit of oregano, etc. So 2 of those in. Little secret ingredient, and I only find that Italian cooking kind of does sometimes use this, and I think it adds a wonderful flavour, maybe slightly aniseedy type flavour. It's fennel seeds. So roughly about a teaspoon, heaped teaspoon, I'm putting in. They're quite hard. but they will soften down during the cooking. I just think it gives it just that extra little bit of something, and I don't know what. A good old stock cube going in, and I'll add some water. The first one I'm going to do, and Amy has allowed me this. So it's wine. So I'm going to say roughly about 100 mils. You can use white, use red, use a bit of rosé. In with a good old vegetable stock cube, and I will top this with water. Just crumble it up. About a cup of water. And to take a little bit of the tartness off, 2 level teaspoons of sugar. Make it 3 because it's quite big. Last but not least, in with roughly a tablespoon of tomato paste, tomato puree. Give that a mix around. And it does smell absolutely wonderful, that's for sure. I do like my herbs. Normally I would add in balsamic vinegar, but I'm not going to do that because I've added the wine in. Another little cheat of mine, and you're going to say I've already added in a load of basil. This is good old store-bought, cheapo green pesto. This does the job. It's already made. Give that a good mix in. I'm going to turn this on to a low heat, put the lid on, and we'll come back later. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and whoever else is watching, so what I have here is roughly about 2 to 3 tablespoonfuls of olive oil just heating in the pan. So I'm going to put my brownies in. I have it kind of on a medium to low setting, and it's only really to brown. The meatballs, kind of before they go in, so space them out as much as possible. I don't want these to burn. So that's them in, get plenty of oil around, and maybe add just another wee taste of oil. I don't want them to stick at all. So we'll call that roughly about 3.5 tablespoons of oil. Just keep a little eye on these. I'm going to see them kind of brown on one side, move them over, turn them over, and say I want a light colour because they will cook in the sauce. What I did do while I was away, the sauce was still a bit tarty with the tomato, so I'd added 3 level teaspoons in. I added another 2.5 teaspoons in of sugar just to bring out the tomato and cut some of the tartness away. And also I just added another little paste, maybe about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of water. Okay, so that's a bit of colour on one side, a couple of more minutes to brown these ever so slightly, and then I will pop them in to the sauce. Now to get these little babies gently, one hopes, into the pot with the sauce, and then they can just simmer away. There we are. So that can simmer gently, probably for maybe 45 minutes, maybe a bit longer. I'll just keep a wee eye on them. I ain't going to turn them. If I do, it will only be the once. So I've taken the lid off just to have a wee little look at the meatballs, and I think they're holding their shape. They won't take long to cook, and as they cook, I just hope to goodness, as I say, that they do hold. If not, this will be a bolognese rather than a meatball. Back on with the lid. We'll let this go for another 15 or 20 minutes. I'm not going to turn them. Just make sure they don't stick to the bottom. No, thank goodness. As I say, fingers crossed. So lid on, 20 minutes, and that will be those ready. So folks, I kind of didn't finish off last night my Italian meatball dish. You'd seen it in the pot in the last clip, and that was it cooked. The only thing I didn't do was obviously show it to you as normal on the plate and say goodbye. That's because I took a cooking frenzy and decided to make a biscotti brownie cake, and also daggers and mash with an onion gravy. So apologies, we were starving by the time I had everything done, which was near 11:15 at night. I hope you enjoyed the video from what you've seen. So I'm going to say, obviously the morning after, rock on, have a good weekend. Please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and do try the recipe. Pretty easy and was delicious, not a morsel left on the plate. See you soon, take it easy, bye for now.